are learning more about the husband and wife California killers this morning. He was a devout Muslim and traveled overseas to bring his bride back to the United States. The big question this morning, did she prey on her husband as part of a bigger terror plot? And did she radicalize him? Here with more is founder and president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Doctor, thank you for being with us this morning.
It's good to be with you. Thank you.
What's your reaction to the news coming out of this horrific slaying of 14 in San Bernardino by this couple?
You know, it's just the same horror over and over again, and we're not treating the problem. I mean, clearly the radicalization narratives will always be a little different between the Boston bombers, the Chattanooga shooter, and now the San Bernardino shootings, but clearly it's Islamist terror, it's violent jihadism, and they're radicalized obviously through the trips to Saudi Arabia, contacts with Qatar, and basically places where these ideologies flourish. Now, his relationship with his wife, it's interesting that she may have contributed to it, but I still think, as the FBI is reporting, he had some contacts with known terror suspects, and
yes.
The bottom line is that often in a patriarchal society, the women become sort of enmeshed into this heavenly operation, and they put the virus into their head. The question is whether, when the virus of jihadism became operational, whether that was the intent, or he simply was enraged by something and didn't care what he did and went to the softest target possible. Bottom line, it's the same narrative, same disease. We're not treating it, and the president, by denying its Islamism and talking about it right away, is enabling our community from dealing with the disease.
Okay, so two things, Dr. Jasser. One, if you could connect the dots here, because we're seeing online radicalization, we're seeing pairings now, dating sites between these men and women, and then we're seeing terror plots executed. So what's going on there, and does this point to ISIS? Do you see fingerprints of ISIS in this situation? And then what is the danger, in fact, of the White House still kind of walking that line? It could be terror, but it could just be workplace violence. And why not say radical Islam?
Well, all of those things are very important. Now, number one, the fact that it was more than one person, the fact that it was a couple, speaks to the ISIS narrative, which is this total a life that they give individuals and couples. The videos told them that they would go to heaven, that there's paradise waiting for them in the caliphate. So it's starting to speak to that, and then the couples sort of feed off each other in this end of times. I mean, they left their baby with the grandma and just took off and knew that they wouldn't come back. Second thing is, it's important to name it, because if you want to enable Muslim reformers today, we finished our summit of Muslim reformers against political Islam and Islamism. We're going to make a declaration that the White House and others can use to say who are the Muslims that are part of the solution and who are part of the problem. And that is how you can only make us relevant, by actually looking at the declaration and holding Muslim organizations accountable to those things, because this couple did not get radicalized overnight. Their family and others had signs. By the way, his brother was a U.S. Navy vet who was decorated. Exactly. And maybe if you look at the differences between the two, you'll start to see maybe how one gets radicalized from ideology and how the other didn't. And that's how we can help you. Identifying it lets you identify who's your friend and your foe. You can't do it otherwise.
It's a powerful statement today, as always. Dr. Jasser, thank you for your time.